Hi everyone, my name is Christy Vacchio and I am the founder and face of the Sidetracked Parent. I have been thinking about this project for a long time and I just finally decided that it is time now for me to start the video portion of this business. The videos that I am going to be doing in the Sidetracked Parent are all about just chatting with you about how our lives have gotten off the track of what we thought we were going to look like. When we became families, when we decided to have children, when we got pregnant, when these children came into our lives, the ideas that we had for these children have somehow gotten off track because of a rare disease or because of a special need or because of autism or because of a genetic diagnosis. And that got us off track either with our dreams of these children or with our own dreams of what we wanted to do in our own lives as in our own careers. And I wanted to just come into a space and have a place to really talk to everybody and just start a conversation about what that means. And for me, it meant that my dream of being a teacher, a neuroscientist, a doctor, a researcher kind of got off track for a little while, but I used those skills and those dreams that I wanted to do and turned them into a way to support new parents on their own journey. For my children, the dreams of them going to college have gotten off track, and I don't know if they'll ever get back on that track of going to college. I don't know if my children will go to college. I doubt that my son will go to college, whether he will have a career of some sorts. I still have that dream for him, but it's a new normal for us. So let me just talk to you a little bit about, first of all, who I am and who my children are and where I'm coming from. So I already said my name is Christy Vacchio and my husband is Dan Vacchio, and he will hopefully be joining us on some of these videos. And I'm kind of the scientist, the analysis person. I'm very problem-solving, analytical. I like to know the science behind things, and I like to know the why. My husband is he's the humor in our family. He's the one that kind of keeps us from going down that dark hole of despair. And I hope that he will join us on some of these videos to kind of lighten things up a little bit. By trade, I am a teacher. I was in education for 25 plus years, really longer than that if you count the fact that both my parents were teachers. And originally I was going to be a veterinarian, so I had a lot of science background, and I even took some genetics in college in my freshman year, and a lot of very heavy science courses because I was on a fast track for veterinary medicine. And so I took that and turned it into being a science teacher, and so I really kind of just kind of ran with that. After a few false starts, I ended up becoming kind of the science teacher guru in a lot of the different places that I taught. And then when I had my children, so Andy was born in 2005, and so he's 16 right now. And Katie was born in 2009, so she is 12. And when Andy was born, we knew something was wrong with him, but we didn't know exactly what was wrong. And then it took us a while to get the correct diagnosis. He was very sick as a baby, and he got a diagnosis at 4 months, but it didn't fit. And my science-y brain was like, this doesn't fit. He just didn't fit into the boxes of everything that they were telling me. And so I kind of was one of those moms where I kept like searching for different answers because the answers that I was getting were not the answers that fit. So it took us a while, but we finally ended up getting the correct diagnosis when he was 21 months old. And then even after we got that diagnosis, there was a lot that we still didn't know about. In fact, the doctors didn't even know about it until we started getting together with other families and family support groups and family forums that we started in 2010 in Chicago. And so a lot of the things that we know about what my kids have come from just meeting other families. And so I don't want this space to be just about my kids' diagnosis. So what they have is called neonatal diabetes, and they have one of the more severe types. They have one of the more severe mutations where they have like autism and sensory processing disorder and developmental delays and epilepsy. And so they have a lot of different comorbid diagnoses that go with the neonatal diabetes. But I don't want this space to be just about neonatal diabetes. And I want you to feel comfortable with saying anything and asking any questions that you want to ask. And I want this space to be about more just other parents coming who have, anybody who has a rare disease, anybody who has kids with special needs, anybody who has a kid with autism, anybody who has a kid who just doesn't seem to fit into the box, or you have for some reason just gotten off track because of something with your kid. I want it to be a place where we can talk to each other and support each other and ask questions and talk about the hard things that we go through. And I just want this to be a safe space that we can all talk about how our lives got off track, but how we are making the most of it and how we are really doing the best that we can for our children and being advocates for our children and making their lives the best that we can with what we know. And that's what the Sidetracked Parent is all about, just getting back on track. Maybe not the same track that you wanted to be on, but the track that is best for your entire family, for whatever space you're in with your family, whatever season you're in. If you're in brand spanking new, have a newborn, and have no clue what's going on with your kid, or if you have teenagers like me and you've been on the journey for a long time and you know a little bit, or if you have adult children and you can offer some support for those of us who are still a little bit newer to our journey. So that's what I want the Sidetracked Parent to be. I want it to be a space where we can talk, get things out, be honest, be truthful, and talk about how we have evolved in our world and made it a better place for our kids, because that's what it's all about. So welcome to the Sidetracked Parent, and I look forward to meeting all of you in the future. Thanks.